Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I have a review of Rontu the Master Dragon, which retails for $49.99, and it's a mixed bag of a set, I will say. So starting with the small side build, it's only a couple parts, but it's like this little shrine type build, and it's got this little artwork, I guess you could say, on it. But what this artwork is for our brand new gimmick of the wave, which is the revealing blade. It's just a trans red piece. However, when you cover over, it makes out another image, except I can't really tell what this one's supposed to make out. It might be a face of some kind, which is what a lot of the others have. But yeah, this one's a pretty small part of the set. I think they just threw it in because it's in basically every other set except for the small Kai bike and the Aaron mech. But other than that, it's nice to at least get some sort of side build, because we don't really get any in this wave apart from a dragon and a flyer for Sora and like one other villain thing. But yeah, onto the main build. So this is Rontu. There's a lot to say about Rontu. Obviously, she looks nothing like this in the show. The only thing is, I think the head looks the same, like this main head part, and then the lanterns coming off the horns. But that's basically it. She's got a very basic sort of dragon body, I will say. Like, I've seen this same dragon body where it's just straight so many times, where it should be like going up and down, up, because she's more like wavy and curvy, I guess. Yeah. But overall, taking away the show, I think this is a pretty good build. So starting at the head, obviously we've got this new headpiece, which is very limited, but at least with this one, it's got a neck joint, and it can look around. It's just the head feels so unnatural compared to the rest of the actual head, because it's completely molded, but the mouth isn't molded. So we just get this weird mouthpiece, but it just looks so wrong because you've got all this gap here, which is like as thick as my thumb, where you've got no mouth, but all this open upper jaw space. So she looks really bad from below, yet I think looks all right from above. I don't know, I haven't really been looking at her too much because this is probably one of my least favorite sets of the wave. There's some way worse ones, but in terms of builds, it's not my favorite. But anyways, continuing on, we've got these newer wing pieces. I think they were introduced this year with Ryu and the forest dragon thing. They're just connected with ratchet joints, which kind of makes them impossible to move. Like, you can only move them up and down, which I kind of don't like. And then they feel very bulky just in general. Move that head. They've got stud shooters on either side. They just shoot out these just regular pink tiles for some reason. Yeah, it just feels very blocky there. Continuing on to the main body. God, I will say this. Legs aren't very firm. Like, as you've noticed, it keeps falling. She keeps falling. She's not staying up at all, which is really bad for like play in general, I will say. Let's see if I can. Oh my. There we go. Now she's standing up, so I'll just do this. The legs have a nice design. I do like this design of the legs. Coming down to the feet, you've got these rings, which is similar to how Thunderfang has the rings around some of his limbs. His limbs. And then obviously the feet, which use mech fingers for some reason. Everything's mirrored on the other side, by the way, don't worry. We got some clips up here for whatever figure's riding Rontu. So say Sora wants to put a sword over here, she can. And yeah, it just sits there kind of nicely. It's not the best, but I think it's supposed to mimic how Egolt has that one clip on his back to hold the sword. Coming on further down, you've got the back legs, which are built similar in terms of like this upper bit to Eagle. I think the whole build in terms of like the legs and stuff is supposed to be similar to Eagle, but different. But like it's too similar where in the show they aren't that similar. Coming down to the feet, it's the same as the front ones without that little ring piece around the end. And then coming back up to the tail, you can move it side to side. You can't really move it up. You're not supposed to move it up because it's on 2 ball joints, which I've accidentally disconnected, but that does lead it to only go side to side. This back bit can go up all around because it's on a single ball joint. And then you just got the tail, which has 2 clips with these new wisp pieces, which come in trans pink in this set, which I think is actually a really nice piece. It would look great for some Sora type thing, or just anyone with a pink sort of power. And we see them a few times in this wave in 3-4 other sets actually. But yeah, a brand new piece, and I think it's very nice. But yeah, that is the build of Rontu. She is a bit of a mess. So our first figure is Wildfire. Same Wildfire we've been getting since March last year. No armor piece, which she hasn't been getting for a bit now, which is kind of making this figure even worse than she originally was. I don't really have much to say that hasn't been said. But yeah, she comes with these elemental blast pieces. So obviously shoot them out. We've had these for like ever. Not really so much in Ninjago, but Wildfire's always been getting them because she just doesn't really get weapons. Yeah, it's a mediocre figure. And she comes in multiple sets. This is the most common in this wave as well, which is really annoying. Next up, we have Zart, who many people have called the fraud of the Forbidden Five, and for good reason. Not a great character in the show, but we're not talking about the show, we're talking about the set. The design on Zart has been really good. We got him back in March. He comes also in the Temple Bounty, so that's 3 sets to get Zart. It comes with this new, or was new for him, helmet piece, which is sort of like a basket if you were to flip it upside down. And it's got like cage bars on the front. Very nice head print as well. I think it's double-sided, yeah. Got the Forbidden 5 logo on the back. And then his weapon, so all the Forbidden 5 have been using this sort of sand green long hilt. And then his is a flail. There's some other ones. Noct has a sword. Rox also has a sword. Drix has like sickles. But yeah, it's a nice build. There's a better one in the Temple Bounty, which feels more threatening. I guess you could call it threatening. I'm not actually 100% sure which one's. Well, it is, yeah, a better design. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's Zart. The same old Zart. Our next figure is Sora. She's a very nice design, I will say. I really like her design. A bit different from the other ninja, however, keeping sort of that same theming with the new armor piece and then the tassel, which I believe that's the Ninjago letter S. She's got a little cat profile on the torso there, yeah, on the belt. And then she's got like these confetti lines all throughout sort of the white of her design. But I do think it looks very nice. Obviously, she's got her hair headphone combo that we've been getting for the past year or so, which I do really like how that's been used. On the back, you can see her logo through the center, which is the little cat over the 5, and then just some more basic detailing. She comes with just a regular sword, and then also this lantern. Lanterns have been coming in every set this wave, or most of the sets this wave, minus a few. And this one's actually a very different build because it's got a bottom piece. Most of the other lanterns don't actually, like, hold lanterns don't have this bottom piece for some reason, which I don't know why, but I mean, sure, it has an extra piece. But obviously this plays into the story of how they see the Spectral Dragonians. But yeah, that's Sora. She's a pretty good figure. I will say. Glad you can get her in a cheaper set than the mech. However, I do think the jet mech is a much better set than this, so I would recommend getting Sora there. And then our final figure for the set is Lloyd. He comes with the revealing blade, and then also his sword that he's been getting since season 8, I believe, which is really nice that we're still getting it, because we weren't getting it in those first couple waves of Dragons Rising. But as of recently, we've been getting at least Lloyd, his more unique weapon. Some of the other ninja are still just getting swords, unfortunately. But it's nice to at least have one of them back, because he's been using this in the show forever, and people just didn't have a way to get it. But yeah, going into his actual design, uses the bright green and some dark green, uses a bit of maroon or dark red throughout his entire design, which is the same for all the ninja, and then obviously the tan belts and stuff. And then he's got the little tassel, which has the Ninjago letter L for Lloyd, obviously, which all the ninja, Sora and Rogue have, which is really nice. And I believe Master Wu also has it in the Guardian Dragon. He's got this new armor piece. Obviously, he's got his headband hair combo, which all the ninja have been using except Cole instead of hair these past couple years, which I personally am not a huge fan of. I miss the hair, like the regular hair, but can't complain too much. Then going on to the back, we've got his symbol L at the back there, and then some more tan belts and stuff. But yeah, very nice figure, and him and Sora are for some reason only in this set and the mech. I do think the mech is way better to get, but if you're going for a cheaper budget, I recommend getting this set then, so you can at least get 2 of our main ninja suits for the wave. So yeah, that was Rontu. A very confusing kind of set, because obviously if this was to come out before she ever appeared in the show, I don't think many people would complain about her design. However, the $49.99 is a bit expensive. Would have rather maybe $39.99. But it's still one of the better price sets of the wave compared to some others. Figures are nice. It's nice getting 2 of the ninja suits in a slightly cheaper set. Obviously, Wildfire is Wildfire. And then getting Zart in a pretty decently cheap set, because the only other sets you can get them in is the Temple Bounty and Arc Dragon of Focus, which are both very big. But yeah, overall, decent set. Wouldn't recommend this. If you were getting every set, you could skip out on it. You're not really missing much. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Sorry, I'm a bit like blanky on stuff I'm saying. I've been a bit sick recently. Just a bit tired as well, because I've been working a bunch. That's how I can afford to get all this stuff. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully I'll be getting more reviews out soon. Let me know what reviews you want to see next, because I do have every set. I know people have been saying, oh, you didn't get the 4+ set. I personally don't care that much about the 4+ sets, just because they aren't anything to do with the show. They're always just something creative, and it's sort of a waste of my money and space, because things are more expensive for me. And then I also didn't get the poly bag, because my LEGO store doesn't sell poly bags for like an extra 2 months for some reason after they release. It took me forever to get the poly bag from last year, and I still didn't get the one from the start of this year. But hopefully when that does release, I'll be doing a small video, maybe a short, on the poly bag. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.